That's right. It's another late night and time for another reach into the Just Giggle It grab bag. And tonight we're pulling out the Morning Wake Up. Just Giggle It sketch number 47. Boy, oh boy, I tell you, there's something in the air. There's something about this one. I don't know why. It just feels like the timing's just right for it, as if it were like a certain time of year, a certain time in the general rotation. If it's a season of something. I just can't put my finger on it. What do you think? Do you think it's a season of something?
It's the season of Sipka.
I like the ring of it. Let's go with it.
Sipka!
Yeah! Sipka, baby, yeah!
All right.
Season of Sipka! All
right. All right. So, Dragon, I have one question for you. I have one question, my friend.
Well, you only get one, so make it count.
How do you like your makeover?
It's terrible. It's awful. Bear in mind, I'm still taking it in, but it's awful.
Oh boy! So that's the general premise for this sketch, folks. What if the cheesy makeover shows that we all watch or at least flip through on TV, or we bear some passing familiarity with? What if those shows just ended, with someone just being so disappointed with how they look, to the point where it's just like, oh my God, this is just like, no, I can't accept that. This is such a downgrade here. It's a funny little what if. It's another great meeting of the minds between Piper Henson and Mark Sipka, and it's Sipker, Mr. Mark Sipka, Dragon. That's how the people in the Deep South refer to Sipka. Sipker!
Or at least that's how the winos refer to him.
Anyways. My point being, Dragon, that's it's basically a makeup show gone wrong. It's a makeup show gone wrong.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it.
All right. So, of course, this is the second entry in kind of our Mark Sipka themed season, and again, kind of evaluating different aspects of the performer. And here we're hitting one of our favorite aspects with Mark Sipka, one of his various most famous impressions being his lady voice, and kind of his not femme fatale performance, but definitely his very kind of channeling his inner Freddie Highmore, as it were, is kind of going full mother with it, so to speak. Doing the lady voice like no other. That's Sipka for you. One of the great talents of the man. And for anyone who wants to know the origin of this performance, you can find it in...
in Mark Sipka, My Special Family Special. That's right, folks. It's up on Amazon Prime right now to watch for free. Don't miss out on this hour-long chunk of family-friendly hilarity. That's a roast like no other, because the people that are being roasted are none other than Mark Sipka's beloved family themselves.
That's right. And oddly enough, there's a little bit of correlation between that and the background for this. A little fun fact with this. So not a whole lot of background, but of course, I mean, on the whole, there's kind of a satire of those morning shows, like some of those god-awful morning talk shows. Some of them, the morning and afternoon talk shows, they can vary from terrible to just like god-awful sometimes. They really can. Let me put it this way. The afternoon have an advantage because you have Ellen, which is wonderful. But aside from that, you have shows like basically tons and tons of copies of your Good Morning Americas and your like Regis and Kathy Lee's or your Regis and Kelly's, like all sorts of kind of clones of those type of shows. And you get stuff like The Talk and, like, oh, God, terrible things.
I kind of like The Talk because I'm a Big Brother fan, and The Talk as Julie Chen. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've never watched The Talk, but The Talk is the only one I'm like, yeah, I can accept that one exists.
So
it's like, kind of desperate for entertainment. I'd be like, yeah, Chenbot. Let's see what Chenbot has to say. Anyway,
so there's definitely So there's definitely kind of a satire on those types of shows, as well as like some kind of makeover shows, and sometimes the both kind of fall in the same. Where there's like a gimmick on a morning show because they have nothing to work with aside from people on the outside saying "Read my sign." Aside from those guys, Aside from those, sometimes you have like a gimmick of like we're going to give away something, or we're going to give out free makeovers, some gimmick, and that's kind of what they're satirizing here. And in terms of the making of this, we have this is directed by the great and powerful Jason Ramlow,
Nice, nice.
written by Piper Henson, and is also edited by Jason Ramlow. And again, the editing, there's some really good editing prowess on this, which I think kind of saves a lot of gags. I think really kind of pluses some gags later on in this, but really good editing on this. And a little bit of correlation with my special family specialist, Tim Sipka himself has a little fun fact related to this one. So apparently, this word comes directly from Just Giggle. I want to assume Joshua Thomas. Bear in mind, when I see Just Giggle, I'm kind of imagining kind of Joshua Thomas regaling us with a little background. So whichever. Point being, just the front of Just Giggle It has informed us that apparently Tim Sipka, I guess they heard this from Mark Sipka or somebody, Tim Sipka had posited to Mark Sipka, like, after watching this, didn't Just Giggle It have any other female performers that could have gotten to play your role? It's just like it harkens back to a moment within the stand up special where he's kind of remarking on, he has this hilarious story where his father, when Mark Sipka was a boy, the man was an impression machine. And his father rarely heard Sipka's real voice because of this. He said, "Hey, Mark, I'd like to hear what you sound like." And of course, Mark would just be unrelenting. And it kind of takes it back to that, where like Mark's doing like bear in mind a female voice that's very indicative of Mama Sipka. So just imagine how trippy that is from Tim Sipka's point of view, and that being kind of perpetuated in the world and other characters. Imagine Tim Sipka's double take at that.
Wouldn't it be great to get Tim Sipka in a Just Giggle It sketch at some point?
That would be astonishing. Would be. I remember Just Giggle It, not Just Giggle It, Joshua Thomas in his, in the San Antonio years, back on a Raceway. Remember, he has that Patrick Fabian lookalike actor. Yep, I'd love to see that guy come back again. Better Call Saul. If they do it, they got to get that guy to play Howard Hamlin.
Oh God, yeah.
Either that or McBride. I could buy McBride as Hamlin. I could see it. Anyway, so all that said, I guess one more plug. Why don't you hit him with the Clown Prince of Crime?
Do you mind if you do it? I took the lead on the Sipka one.
All right, folks, are you looking? are you in a Batman mood? Because I know I am. And look no further, folks. Because if you want to satiate a need for Batman, nay, not even Batman, one of the greatest fictional adversary of all time, in all literature, in all history, quite possibly, Moriarty move over, the Clown Prince of Crime, otherwise known as the Joker. If you want to see a representation of the Joker, and this year we're all about the proto-Jokers, and don't get me wrong, a proto-Joker now and again is delightful. Of course, Gotham has worked wonders with the proto-Joker, and Joaquin Phoenix, who knows, could be really great. Could be Jared Leto 2.0. We don't know. But until that happens, precisely, don't be scared by that sentiment, folks. And if you are, look no further. You have a fully formed Joker at your disposal. All you need to do is point and click. You go to Just Giggle It, you're going to find a little web series called Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the Real World. You don't even just type it into the search box. You'll find it, and you'll have a great time with it, because you're going to see the characters of the Joker and Harley Quinn, as you know them, kind of an amalgamation of all the great versions of them over the years, amalgam together, all the great versions. It's not just the guy putting on makeup and saying, "Oh, hey, let's hang out with Elsa and Spider-Man." It's not one of those things.
Oh God, no! It's not even close.
Folks, no. I've seen a number of Joker-related videos, and I can attest this is one of the great original byproducts here. This is something that again honors those characters and puts them in a really interesting situation. That is not a one-off point and click video. It's not a one-off little parody or little joke video of like, oh, Harley Quinn and Joker are in L.A. and they're just kind of clowning around. It's not that at all. It's Harley Quinn and Joker. They're going in L.A. They're kind of trying to get a fresh start away from Gotham, and it gets really compelling. Episode 1 will have you, folks. There's a hook by the wonderful Piper Henson. There are 2 moments with Piper Henson's character in one of the Just Giggle It big 3. And Piper Henson, she was this character called Addison, their roommate, who basically has a moment. I won't spoil it for you. That's why I want to get you to watch it. It has a moment that kind of sells you like, oh my god, this is such a serious concept. There's layers to this. It's not just like a simple like kind of one and done video. There's stakes. There's an arc. Again, we're kind of seeing how Joker and Harley affect people, and we put them in this whole new location. We've seen their effect on Gotham. What would their effect be on LA? And the point being, folks, it's a cornucopia of interesting concepts. And the crescendo of it at this point is episode 5. You're going to get to episode 5. You're going to be blown away by it. And you're going to get to the end of episode 5. And you say, where's the rest? I want episode 6 and 7 and etc. And folks, I can tell you, etc. is on the way. And right now, episode 6, from what I can tell, etc. Precisely. And folks, take my word for it. Episode 6, for all intents and purposes, is in the can. I mean, it's being edited last time I checked, but that was a while ago, so chances are it's going to be in the can and waiting. And all we're waiting for right now, folks, is for the view count. Emphasis, the view count, as in just watching it. The view count on episode 5 getting up to 1 million. When it gets up to 1 million, episode 6 gets released for all to see and be bewildered by, which again in turn will rank up the views, which will get more videos. Again, there's some great stuff coming up. With Tiki and I've been privy to a little bit of it. The folks at JustGiggleIt, the folks on the Discord page, they've gotten some teases at it. Trust me, folks, it's going to be worth it. If you love episodes 1 through 5, because of course you're watching 5, surely you like the other 4. It'll be worth it. Just share it, spread the word, get the word of mouth going, get people to check it out, get that view count up, and the world will be a better place. Well, more or less. That's all she wrote.
All right.
All right.
So, without further ado, Dragon, do you want to dive right into the sketch?
Yes.
Okay, let's start things off. So we have Piper Henson and Mark Sipka, of course, playing. What are the names of the characters, Dragon? Remind me.
Okay, so real quick, also, hello to Louise Brooks in the comments.
Louise, hey there.
Yeah. So we have Piper Henson and Mark Sipka. Piper Henson's playing Christy Jean, like one of those Emma Jean names.
Christy
like,
Jean, I love that name.
Christy Jean.
Christy Jean.
And Mark Sipka plays, I believe, Mariah Dolby. I think it's Dolby. I couldn't quite get an official kind of ruling on the last name. It sounds like they're saying Dolby, or it's something close sound to Dolby. Her name's Mariah, so Mark as Mariah.
God.
And of course, Mark Sipka, the big draw here is Mark Sipka doing one of my favorite voices of his that again we kind of fell in love with even more so than we already were with it I remember loving in the Hour of Darkness podcast, and of course we got the origin of it in the family special. So again, it always brings me a delight. And now I have like a personal connect to it, having kind of been privy to like the origin of the voice. So I feel really like, man, it's always kind of cool when he does that voice. So not only Sipka doing the voice like he did in Hour of Darkness podcast, he was just doing the voice off center, which of course left it to the imagination, which is kind of perfect and flawless. And now we kind of take it to the next level here, where it's Sipka in drag.
Yep.
Did you get the name on the haircut?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
Well, basically, it's the same haircut that Hope Van Dyne has in Ant-Man the Wasp. It's kind of the Wasp hairstyle. It's like one of those, it's kind of the short, it's I don't know, it's kind of a nice 50s-ish haircut. I don't know. Anyway,
I mean, if you give me a minute, I can Google it.
All right, well, Google it, look it up.
All right.
Anyway, meanwhile, okay, so they're doing this morning show. Of course, we have Sipka doing essentially doing his mom voice, but again, kind of the mom kind of going kind of daytime drinker, kind of Stepford mom, essentially. It's kind of like the really kind of dry delivery, just like plastered smile, just like, yes, we're here to get views. We're here to sell product. One of those that's kind of the way he's playing her. Like, I keep going back. Forgive me for going to the obvious here, folks, but I keep going back to American Dad, and let's say it's less renowned seasons. They had this thing that they had like a parody of these talk shows as well, called like Morning Mimosa. And it just the genesis of it, and honestly, this image we had before, just keeps reminding me of like Morning Mimosa. Because basically, look in this image here, and again, I can't. It looks like she's holding like a giant
like a pitcher.
Yeah, pitcher, like a giant pitcher of beer or something, like one of those giant mugs at the bar. Like one of those. I'm blanking on the word right now. Like it's just a giant pitcher of like a mug of mead or something. Like one of those things. Point being, it looks like they're getting kind of schlocker in the morning based on this image, which kind of made me think of morning mimosas. Either that or really awfully drawn powder puff of some variety for the makeup of it all. It's one of the two. I think it looks more like the alcohol, but that's just me. Point being, there's something off about this. So wonderful here. So again, it's Mark Sipka in drag. Looks like a lady, and in itself, that's a little funny. It's kind of like Agarn in a dress. You can never go wrong. Agarn in a dress, more often than not, folks, is funny. You know, like there's no one wearing the dress. There's no one wearing the dress, and he's wearing the dress. You know that old, the old freakazoid joke, or F troop, if you want to be exact. Anyway, so that's the thing. I love that it's believable enough yet off. That's the thing because the makeup actually. Let me ask this to you. This is gonna be a bizarre way of phrasing this. Is he a convincing woman to you? Okay, I'm gonna phrase it. I'm going to phrase in the JGI context here. Is he worthy of a pretty flower?
Oh. Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, you got to admit though, Dragon, in the context of JGI, like a pretty flower, like that's an honor, man. That's an honor. That's like getting a rose at the bachelor ceremony, my friend. So I wouldn't go as far as to say that he's rose-worthy, but I would say he passes for a woman. I'll go as far as that.
All right. Kind of like maybe like a step above Dustin Hoffman. Let's go that far, you know.
Oh God.
But yeah, I mean, like, is he Lana Parrilla? Heck no. But is he like a step above Tootsie? Sure, why not?
All right.
There's a Lana Parrilla. Oh my goodness, there's a woman for you. Anyway, getting back on point. So. Yes. So again, the points we have this makeup, which it's kind of a little note here because it pays off definitely by the end. You get to see kind of by comparison how that we have a JGI actor in drag, kind of with the makeup and the bells and whistles on. Again, I think it looks better on Sipka than it does this other player, which we'll get to. Anyway, so also we have this little display. Basically, the image before us here is like this little display bar that pops up as they're kind of doing the introduction here. So it's kind of the two of them in kind of cartoony form. Let's see, and we have again. It's very. The point is, visually, we're very accurate to kind of those morning or daytime talk shows. You know, we have like kind of the two chair layout. They're all just kind of like those little directors' chairs they're sitting on. It's all very accurate. They're all smiles and everything, and they're basically kind of going about the business here, saying it's Piper Henson starting us off here, saying it's Makeover Monday, and we have a special lady to make over, Sharon Blake. We see a photo of Sharon, which I got.
The idea with Sharon Blake is that she's a nurse who cares for others, and now we're going to care for her. We're going to give her, that's the general idea. I'm sorry.
Yes, well, real quick, I want to get your thoughts on this. So I believe Courtney Coleman is playing Sharon here, if I'm correct. Now, Courtney Coleman, let me ask you this. In the stock photo that they used of Courtney, because her hair is red in this, I believe usually the way we've seen her before, I think she's had like blonde or kind of whitish hair before, like platinum blondish hair. The point is like she's had very light hair before, and here she had like this red hair. And I got to ask you, in the still photo, doesn't it look like remarkably like Katie Garland to you?
The still photo, like the cartoon one?
No. Like they show what she looks like before the makeover, and you see with this red hair and everything, she looks a lot like Katie Garland, who classically has red hair.
Oh, give me 1 sec. That's about to come up. Yeah, I could see it.
I mean, at first glance, I assumed okay, Katie Garland, but then of course when I realized, wait a minute, no, that's
no, it's not Katie Garland at all.
Yeah. So she works as a hospice nurse, which, by the way, is like the most kind of dreary nurse there is. A hospice nurse. It's really, again. So the point is, we kind of play the smallest violin for this lady in a good way. We're kind of building her up like this. This lady really gives it all here, and she's like, this is a nurse's nurse right here. She's a hospice nurse caring for others every day and today. And of course, Sipka brings it home with this line. It's probably the best line in the whole thing here. She says, "And today, we are caring for Sharon." And I love the head wobble. See, I love all the little choices that Sipka makes here, like the little unsung choices here, because he's doing this little head wobble. I don't know if you noticed. It's just kind of, it's just, we're caring for Sharon. Just like selling the little tagline with the head wobble. It's just hilarious.
Yeah, like he's owning it, man. He's confident about that tagline. He's like, yeah, I wrote that. I came up with it. That's right.
Bear in mind, folks, we're not going to be doing Sipka much justice with kind of our imitations of his wonderful imitations, so just bear that in mind. All right, so let's see. So then we have basically we're getting the sell here of like, that's right, we've assembled a team of the best hair and makeup and wardrobe stylists, and we gave her a new look, and she hasn't seen a mirror all day. And this is like that reality show they had. I mean, you're more well versed in reality shows than I, but I think it was called The Ugly Duckling. That sound about right? Where they take the people and give them plastic surgery.
The Swan. I am so glad you bring this up, Dragon.
Yeah, you're right. It is the Swan.
Thank you. Okay. Dragon, I'm pretty sure that on the Swan, there was a moment. I have to look into this, but I'm pretty sure there was a moment where the girl did not like her makeover and freaked out about it. Dragon, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what this is a parody of.
Well, there's bound to have been like it's like statistical, like right. So at least someone in that show had to be on, and that's the genius of the sketch. Again, whether they got it from that directly, I would say they probably at least were inspired by like like horror stories like that happening. Because again, stands to reason all these makeover or plastic surgery. Again, overall, it's a makeover show of some variety. Someone's going to be dissatisfied, and what do you do? And again, that's just kind of looking at things with kind of the skewed mirror.
What do you do? What do you do? What do you
what
do?
do you do? What do you do? But yes, it's that's like what do you do when that happens? You know, like it's again it's kind of a great logical kind of question. Again, Just Giggle was kind of playing with, and they're kind of saying like, yeah, well, okay, so how can we kind of take this and kind of work it through the Just Giggle filter of kind of dialing it to 11? We're kind of having it in that relatable. We have the wind up, we set the stage, and then of course we kind of progressively turn the dial up. Like, okay, this is going where we think it's going. Then she has an opposite reaction. Then we just kind of like we rip it off and kind of go big. Of course, it's kind of Just Giggle. It's a playbook that we know and love. But yeah, so again, they're kind of going full Swan with it to an extent here. So let's see. So I'm trying to get Mariah here. So Mariah's like, I'm so excited, and I love this. Is what cracks me up. Okay, I love how restrained. And this is what Sipka's doing brilliantly, by the way. This is why I say it's like she has like almost like again the alcohol and the thing. If it is alcohol, it makes me think that she's plaster again. She's like had a few too many morning mimosas, if you catch my meaning here. Where it's just like like this plastered happy expression on her face, where it's just like she's all smiles, and it's like again it's almost like a Stepford wife, or like kind of one of those painted on faces. That's kind of what she's got going on here. She's like really restrained. This blank stare. The blank stare is what kills me. I could be reading into it. I mean, I could be. I won't deny that. But still, it's like they're lingering, and I don't know if it's just Ramlo knowing exactly how long to keep the camera on the actors or whatnot, or just like a happy accent. I don't know, but just kind of holding on, sipping, waiting for magic to happen. Like this just has that blank stare, which is kind of an omen of like, okay, again, it does kind of telegraph kind of the big joke here, where again these guys have a pre-programmed like we're going to do our thing, but we're not going to react to this woman at all. Kind of a bad omen for this woman. So we welcome Sharon.
Oh God.
So Sharon. So by the way, Sharon looks. Did any luck on the hair name?
No, unfortunately.
Okay, well, just the wasp hairstyle. Let's just call it that.
I'm not exactly sure how to Google hairstyles.
Maybe like 50s hairstyle, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, every time I specifically Googled Hope Van Dyne hairstyle, and every time it was just, oh my God, she looks just like the comics. She looks just like the comics. And I'm like, yes, what's the hairstyle?
All right.
Anyways.
Okay, point being, it's kind of a wasp-esque hairstyle. You know, yeah, it's one of those short kind of... I gotta be honest, I don't think it's that bad. I think Sharon's a little overreacting a little bit personally, but, you know, it's I don't know. It might just be me. Anyway, so Sharon, she walks in, and she looks just like Christy and Mariah.
Honestly, I think the reason why she's overreacting is because, like, they basically turned her into a clone of them. And
which is understandable.
Sounded disquieted by that as well.
That's true. I'm part of the Hope cult. No. Yes, she's pleasant, but still, no. Anyway,
Belle from Once Upon a Time would also be part of the Hope cult, the Hope cult, because she was on Lost with Evangeline Lilly.
Right.
Anyways.
Well, okay, so Mariah, so she comes in there looking like a
clone. Bye-bye.
That poor one. You were unrelenting when we were talking about frozen over. Anyway.
Charlie, I can't form a bye-bye.
Oh, would you stop it? Would you stop it with that?
Anyone who watches Lost knows what I'm talking about, Dragon.
And of course, you can imagine we're talking about like a season. And we're talking about a season of Once Upon a Time, and he's bringing that up every time that the Belle character comes on. It's like, my baby, my baby. It's like, come on.
Why?
Anyway, couldn't
Literally
help it.
spelled Bahbah. Ba ba. My
All
ba.
right, all right, all right. Anyway, so okay, so what a day you've had. Yeah, I'm not used to so many hands on me. Getting kind of a kind of a creepy
Yeah, it's
line.
like you could tell she's already like kind of uncomfortable with the whole process, you know?
Yep. And of course, Mariah here coming in with the save here says, uh, I bet not, but you better get used to it." Just think it's like
Oh
celebrating
god.
the upside of, but you better get used to it.
Just already, Dragon, these guys they're just not taking cues. You know what I mean? They have no idea what subtlety means. That's
Precisely.
like the hilarious thing about the performance.
After they see your new look, so then
God.
so again, Sipka's just nailing
And
the
you're right.
sass.
I think another thing is they're so dialed into the the day-to-day mundanity of like they say the same scripted canned dialogue every episode.
Absolutely. And what's really cool too is I love how Sipka basically is nailing the sassy talk show host banter here with the guys. You're right, it is like canned laughter and the whole thing. It's like it's probably the same shit they've done over and over again, but still, it's just programmed into them. The uniformity, which we kind of visually express through like kind of the sense of kind of continuity within the ranks here. It's kind of whole clone thing. But I love that she's again. I just love she's kind of like the Ed McMahon's of this talk show. They have like Regis and Kelly banter, like but so one of this like all the pre-programmed like one's the sassy one, the other one's the straight man, or kind of both
Right, right.
the straight woman, I suppose. All right, so then of course like enough delay, fun, just really fun Piper Henson delivery, and enough delay, let's spin you around.
And then Mark Sipka gives the most hilarious moment of the sketch, which isn't even a line of dialogue. It's just a gesture. Dragon, tell him about
It
it.
is. It is. Okay, so here's what. So we have the mirror shot. It was a really good shot, by the way, because we're right over. It's a really great perspective shot here. So so Sharon turns around and we're kind of like with her, and I love the focus. We focus on the horror on her face. So again, we should just be looking at like kind of focus on the shot, but then does almost the reality show camera thing here, where we kind of the camera shakes a little bit, kind of drifting a little bit more towards her face and kind of focusing on the horror of her face. Where again, the way it should play is like reveal then spin. That's how it should go. And that's what Mariah's dialed into right now. Mariah and Sipka genius going on right here. I got to assume this Sipka has come up with something on the day here. Basically, it's kind of Sipka's great choice mixed with the Ramlo's editing prowess on this episode. Here's what happens. So Mariah's making this spin gesture with her hand, like pointing to like spin, spin, spin. Because again, she's not spinning all the way; she's spinning halfway with the thing. And then, like, give us a spin. Like she's not giving him a spin; she's looking.
Right, right. And again, it's just not getting the cues. It's like, okay, clearly this woman is like very, very unexcited about what she's seeing. Clearly, she does not want to give a spin, and yet Sipka is just like, he's just got that motion down, that gesture, the spinning finger, and he's just like, all right. Spin, come on, you can do it now. Come on, this is just how it goes. And he does it without saying a word, Dragon. It's hysterical, and it's probably like the main reason why I think this stands out as a Sipka performance.
Absolutely. And again, I love how we keep cutting back to it where she's going like, no, 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 no. And of course, we keep cutting back to her just doing the spinning motion. That's the Ramlo editing. And this is I don't know if he's just reusing the same footage or Sipka's just keeping it up. And we have a lot of that.
I'd like to think it's Sipka just keeping it up.
Then we see Piper Henson with that plaster.
I'd like to think it was like, this is just purely hypothetical here, just for my own headcanon amusement. But I'd like to think that they literally had one camera on the girl with the mirror and then one camera on Sipka. And they just so they had footage of both of them at the same time. And they just kind of kept cutting back between the two in the editing.
Right.
Like I said, very impractical way to shoot it. I doubt that's how they did it. But I feel like that's fun in my own headcanon.
Right.
Anyways, sorry.
So we have Piper Henson. She's got this plastered on smile, and then meanwhile Mariah's saying, "Sharon's just taking it all in," which is the other winning line of the whole thing. Here, we're because this has this great line that he keeps repeating, just like she's just taking it all in. It's just again like just trying to sell this in the best way possible. Again, not processing what's actually going on, just kind of like going for the instinctual. She's just taking it all in.
Uh-huh.
So Sharon then talks to camera. She kind of breaks the fourth wall. She's talking to camera here. It's like, so Sharon, what do you think? And this is messed up. No one tells you. I'm sorry. You want to take us through this?
Well, first of all, she's just like, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
Before we get the line of taking it all in, so she's just like, so again, Sipka knows that she doesn't like again, I feel like the big joke is how oblivious they are to the situation. Anyway, so yeah, basically, sorry, let me get there in my notes. Yeah. Sorry.
So Sharon turns to camera. She's breaking the fourth wall. She's like kind of saying it like out. She's putting it all on Front Street here, like her first reactions, her first horrific reactions to this, and her ultimate realization.
All right, hold on. I'm about to get to it. So nobody tells you that they hate these makeover things, but I do. I do.
Then we go dark with it again, just kind of the Just Giggle It kind of dial into 11 here, where they just turned me into a carbon copy of them. And then, of course, then we cut to Mark's again. We cut yet again to Mark Sipka saying, "She's just taking it all, man."
Oh God! And again, the repetition with Sipka is genius.
Yep, it's like Tom. It's like if Tom King writing comedy, that's what we'd be doing here. It's almost like the Tom King writing style of Tom King repeats the same line of dialogue in a really great dramatic sense. We're going to do in the comedic version of that here. So, it's like they're all insane here. Look, look, and of course now the camera pans to the crew, and the crew reveals four men with identical wigs. Includes Jesse McBride, Poncio, and a few people that we rarely see, or if they possibly have never seen. We have Quinn Lefeur, and Malik Wilcott.
Nice, nice.
There's the crew there, and I have wigs, but again, like Poncio's kind of. I gotta tell you, Poncio puts the bounce in that wig, though. I gotta give him points there. So he turns, and has like that dramatic turn. It's gonna bounce in the hair.
Poncio's always given it a little something extra, Dragon.
That's Poncio wig acting, man. Wig acting. Again, the best wig actor, however.
Poncio's on screen for like 2 seconds, and yet he makes an impression.
He's no Beverly Goldberg, but he's up there. Seriously, that's the best wig acting right there. That's the best wig acting, anyway.
All right.
So we then transition to. So then we see the home view, and this is the thing I was seeing at the very start here. So we transition to from the show for this broadcast to the home viewer, which is Joshua Thomas and Erica Dajfruti. If I'm saying that right, I'd love it if it were pronounced like that, though. Dajfruti. Little fun fact. Anyway, so Josh and Erica here. Now Josh, again, he's made up like Sipka here, and the gag being has like I believe lipstick and the wig and something. They did something to his face. I think it's with the eyebrows or something. Because here's the thing, it reminds me so much of what they did to him. Remember they had how they kind of made him up for the Disney princess sketch as Eric from The Little Mermaid.
Actually, yes, I do, because I happened to have just rewatched that one earlier tonight, as a matter of fact.
Huh. What a twinkie dink. But yeah, you know what I mean, though, right? Doesn't he look like Eric from that? And that's the thing. It's like Eric had that weird, like, unnatural. It's like if you brought a Disney prince, the Disney style, into real life, and you tried to make it a carbon copy, there'd be some kind of discrepancies, and that's kind of what that look translated to. And we kind of have that here, but now with a funny wig.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of neat and unnatural. And yeah, so he's saying, of course, the visual guy being this guy saying, "Man, what a strange show." Yeah, looks like they'll let any nut on this show. Then we get the subscriber tag, which is the Sipka leading the trio, and I believe it's 3 girls with 6 smoky eyes.
This is like one of the best subscriber tags. I mean, it's no upside down Poncio, but it's a lot of fun.
Then by like having raccoon eyes asking you to subscribe.
All right.
Then we have a vaguely at the very end, the post credit gag is I believe what they're going for is Obama with a wig on.
Oh yeah, it's definitely Obama. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know, it's good. That's the weird thing. Obama, here's the thing. Rarely have I ever seen Obama in like in a pinstripe suit. That's the thing that threw me off about. Oddly enough, not the wig. It was just kind of like, why is he wearing pinstripes? Obama's kind of a solid color guy. I don't get it. Anyway,
The wig is fine, but the suit, Dragon.
that's the thing. That's the one thing that makes me doubt that it's Obama, because otherwise I'm
If
thinking,
Obama showed up on TV with that hairstyle, you'd be like, "Oh, hey, Obama's got a new look." But if he showed up on TV with a pinstripe suit, you'd be like, what is he doing, man?"
hey, I'm not trying to be political, but Obama had style. You got to give him that. Obama had style.
I'll give him that. I'll give him that.
All right. Anyway, and that's the sketch.
All right, so yeah, final thoughts, Dragon. I gotta be honest with you, this one doesn't necessarily blow me away, but maybe that's just because it's not really my territory. It's not really something that I watch. But having said that, I know that my mother is very familiar with these shows, and I feel like my mom would get a kick out of this. And being as though it's related to Sipka's own mother, I feel like that's very appropriate. And just like we said, Sipka, I feel like Sipka does most of his acting without dialogue per se, or just just with the gestures and the editing. It really does kind of blend together to give us a great a great Sipka performance. And of course, I feel like it's a very appropriate inclusion here in the season of Sipka, because we get sort of the sort of the roundabout kind of going way back to my special family special, relating it back to his mother and all that. So very good inclusion, Dragon. Very good inclusion. I liked it a lot.
Yes, it's a fun satire. Again, it's the logical what if, like what if you didn't like a makeover, and again, I think it captures what it's satirizing very well. Kind of calls out the reality agenda a little bit. Kind of vaguely the reality show agenda, but again, it's more of a talk show. So I mean, again, the whole kind of swan of it all. There's some vague reality show allusions to it. So it's I think it has good makeup because again, kind of turning Sipka into a woman again. Again, they did as best they could. Again, that's the point. It's a little off-putting, but by the same token, again, it's Sipka pulling it together with the voice, and it's kind of a fine example of Sipka character acting, which again is one of Sipka's finest qualities. The guy's a really great character actor.
Mhm.
And Sipka also, I want to point this out. I feel I don't want to just like feel like I'm just gilding the lily with Sipka here because in itself it is just short and sweet. There's not a lot to this, but I think what kind of makes it pop is Sipka as kind of I'm borrowing Melinda May's nickname from Agents of Shield. By the way, I'm going to nickname Sipka the Cavalry because that's kind of his role within Just Giggle It. He's kind of the cavalry. He's the ace in the hole, the cavalry, when they're kind of up against like, man, we just kind of have a short sketch here. I'm not sure if it's going to pop or really be that memorable. We have, you know what? Just Joshua Thomas had putting on his patent helmet. You know what? Call him the cavalry and put him in a wig and dress. Do it now. Piper, hand me the walkie. I'm calling in the cavalry. But yeah, that's more Sipka there. Reporting for duty. Sipka, put on this wig. Yes, sir. But yeah, it's a short but sweet. That's the best way to put it. It's a good one.
All right.
All right. So that said, we've reached the end. But Tiki, before we go, we got to make a big announcement. We've been teasing this up, so let's speak. I kind of spoke about a call to arms of Joshua Thomas to Mark Sipka. So let's have our own call to arms with the people, the fans of Just Giggle It, the fans of Harley Quinn, the Joker, but also just kind of in general any relative segment of fans who I guess watch this, but mainly the Just Giggle and Mark Sipka fans. That's mainly who we're targeting right now. So yes, Luis Brooks and company and everyone. This is directed at you folks. Tiki, hit him with the news.
All right. So the news is that the season finale of the season of Sipka, which will take place the first Tuesday of April, that's going to be not a sketch, but an interview with Mr. Mark Sipka himself live on Google Hangouts.
Yes.
So I am very excited about this, Dragon. This is the first time we've had someone on Just Giggle It on the podcast. I mean, we've interacted a lot with Joshua Thomas on the live streams and everything. I feel like we've very much gotten to know him, but this is going to be the first formal interview with a Just Giggle It contributor, and I'm very excited about it, man. I feel like we can really dig into some of the family stuff with my special family special. We can talk a lot of his Just Giggle It Just Giggle It roles, just kind of nerd out with him, hopefully, over some certain things, and just generally have a really fun conversation, talk about his stand-up comedy career, talk about where he's going with it. I mean, just all kinds of different avenues we can go with that. But you know how the folks can lead the conversation, Dragon?
Yes, I do. Folks, why should we have all the fun? I'm going to turn it over to you folks, and that, folks, we have some ideas, we got some topics, we got some questions to lob at the good man himself. However, I toss it to you folks. In the comments on any of the Season of Sipka videos, ideally this one, but any of the Season of Sipka videos, as well as the Discord page, I'll keep an eye out for it. So basically, folks, posit your questions. Like, go to if anyone on the Discord page, go to the grab bag section, post your questions. And I swear, we'll again. I don't know if the man's gonna be on a schedule or not, but we'll make him a priority. We'll get him in there. We'll try to get him to answer as many as we can. Of course, we might have some live viewers. The point is, folks, you got questions. We're not going to ignore them. We're gonna hand deliver them to the man himself, so to speak. We're gonna find out. We're gonna get those questions answered. And again, you folks have as much stake in this as we do. It'll be a lot of fun, I'm sure. It'll be kind of a community effort. We're kind of building a barn, and we're gonna put on the show. And the show, ipso facto, it's going to be Sipka.
Yeah, and in addition to commenting on the videos, Dragon, I'm excited I can finally get to use this. You can also tweet questions to at SYWTBAI55.
If anyone's lost by that, just to keep it simple, it's so you want to be an Imagineer, but just kind of like it's kind of abbreviated. With 55 at the end, just in case anyone just wants to say what.
And then 55 is the year that Disneyland opened.
Or just that catchy song, 55. But yes, it's
I mean, sure, the catchy song, but
I'm saying they need an easy way to remember it, but yes, 1955 Disney.
The easy way to remember it is that any theme park fan worth his salt, especially if they're a Disney theme park fan, should know the significance of 55.
Oh, sure.
Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm being pretentious there. Anyways,
okay, the point being, so you want to be Imagineer abbreviated to the first letters followed by
SYWTBAI 55.
Exactly.
All right.
So we have Twitter now, folks, and of course, throw out some fan art, some just kind of some kind words. We'll shout you out. We'll do some stuff. We'll do some fun stuff if it builds up. We'll definitely just kind of we'll make the most of it. We'll keep in contact with you. If you have any questions, of course, just lob it that way. We'll get back to you. No problem. We're open books. So yeah.
Dragon, I'm going to do an Imagineering question of the week on Twitter.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what the Imagineering question of the week is this week?
Okay.
Okay, so Into the Spider-Verse just hit Blu-ray, just hit home video.
I procured it today. I'm aware of that.
Nice. The question is, let's say Universal updates the Spider-Man attraction at Islands of Adventure to an Into the Spider-Verse attraction. Give me some ideas for that.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. So same ride system and everything. Just instead of the Universal specific animation, make it an attraction that's based specifically on Spider-Verse.
Well, first off, we gotta have Lady Ock in there. We gotta have Liv Octavius in there. But anyway, so that's me answering the question. But yes, that's up to you folks. Okay, point being, again, just before we leave here, the other bit of housekeeping again. Mark Sipka questions, field them through us, either through the Twitter, through the comments on the video, or on the Discord page. We'll shout you out. We'll feed them to Sipka himself, and by all means, also tune into the show. And I'm sure it'll be a blast. And ideally should be the same around the same time we usually have the grab bag, I believe. Actually, maybe I'll post the time. We'll let you know definitely the week before when exactly we're having it. Probably it's gonna be in the 10:30 range, I suppose. Maybe a half hour early, but we'll see what happens.
All right.
All right, all right. So take care, and I guess we'll. Anything else, Tiggy?
No, we got it. We're good.
Yeah, thanks, Louise Brooks, and anyone else who was going to be kind of wandering by and just kind of like checking out the video. All are welcome, of course. And we'll see you next reach into the Just Giggle It grab bag.
We don't pick the ballrooms. We just dance.